right, so today's video, we have a silver 2 DPS on Sierra playing King's Row. Now, I'm not sure if this is the buff Sierra, so this might be a little bit of a... I'll be able to tell by the HP of the drone. But they say, I wanted to give the new hero Sierra a shot and have been playing her for most of the season so far. I have been stuck in silver and low gold in support, but that isn't what I'm here for. For context, this game was a battle for me. It felt like between the long team fights and still getting used to the new hero. I would love any tips that could help me climb through the ranks. Also, you may remember me from a video a while ago that whenever you got in the limb, you had to emote. Again, any tips is appreciated. Love to watch you on stream and keep up the good work. So let's see how your Sierra is. I will admit, remember, I'm not, Sierra's new, so I can't promise you I'll give you the best advice, but it's good to kind of get some early feedback on this hero. So here we go. It's time. So the drone, I don't mind that. You know what? Okay, so I'm going to pause right away. Don't throw the drone up there and just leave it in the middle of the open. It has no HP so they can kill it. But why not use that drone to go high ground? I mean, right away, I already see a bit of a misplay there. Use the drone, go up here and take a little bit of early map control. You can find some free kills, like things like that. So something to point out. There's a tracking shot, and they're out of line of sight. Okay, grenades. I'm going to teach you how to use the grenade because I made this mistake many times. Throw the grenade at the floor. Think of it like a Reinhardt shatter. It's a shockwave. So you throw it here, and it will go like this as a shockwave. If you throw it like that, it's not an emongg grenade. So throw it on the floor, and it will go like this. See? On the floor, go like that. Okay? That's how you use the grenade. I made a mistake on that for a while. So you can see the shockwave, you're not using it correctly. So I can already tell if you keep doing your grenade like that. Yep. You're definitely misusing the grenade already. Go up high. Listen, I want you to take the health back right there. I want you to go up the stairs. Well, not now that you're getting on-run, but go up the stairs. Take an angle. Try to not end up behind your teammates. It'll be a really good way to go about it with Sierra. This is in silver, yes. I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. Okay, there you go. That was the correct way to use the grenade. Nice job. All right, now you're going to be fine in HP. You'll regen and go with the ult. Good kill. Nice. Couple things to note here. One, I would still love to see you go up here with your drone, so please utilize that more. Two, to the question here, yes, you can use your Sierra ultimate in Mizuki's ultimate. It doesn't eat it, so this is a really good counter for this ultimate. If they pop Mizuki ultimate, do not be afraid to let go of that ultimate, okay? So just something to keep note of, okay? Yep. Maybe there's a way it could eat it if but my understanding is it just goes through there. It might be if you pop the drone before, because I think I want to go back on that one. So I think we're back to the Mizuki ultimate. You got to make sure you do it with the drone. So if the drone goes in and then drops it down, it will be fine, but the drone needs to go in. So make sure you throw it below the level of that. I want to add that caveat to this, editors, if you see this, but if you go above it with the drone, it would eat it because you can do that with Diva ult when they come out of the drone, right? But if you go below it, it will not eat it. Does that make sense? Okay, I was wondering what you did. I'm like, how did you end up here? Yeah, so I've made this mistake too. You probably wanted to use your drone to get there. Someone's like, hey, why did they have you, why do they even give you the option to cancel the drone? That's why. So you cancel the drone and then you wait for the cooldown there. But if you forget about it, that's what happens. Keep in mind the middle part of your screen tells you, the middle part of the screen tells you all of that, all right? It will tell you what your drone, how many charges you have left. See, I do like this flank though. Now I would recommend. Remember, aim your grenade at the ground. That was a good grenade. Good job killing the drone. Good play. That was an excellent. Chad, this is a good example of a good off angle, a good flank play, and just good good solid, pressure by you on that. So that was well played on that second part. Yep. Yeah, you can activate the drone without looking at it. That's also good feedback and advice. Yes, or grenade, like I said, do not throw the grenade like you would throw, next time the grenade throws, I'll show you what it looks like, and then you'll kind of understand. perk thoughts. What perk did they take? I like the... 1 second. What perk was that? Oh, that's the tight spread one? Yeah, that one's good. I like that one. The flying one's also good, though. Personally, I like the spread one, but I also feel like I don't necessarily need the spread one. So I like the longer range one. If that's is that the trade-off? The longer range one? So yeah, next time there's a grenade here, I'll show you like what the grenade does with Sierra. It'll be very obvious like what I mean by it. All right. Yeah, go up high. That's a good idea. Good job. Love the idea of this. Good play getting rid of that. All right, go. I don't mind this flank out of you, by the way. Oh, honestly, that was an unlucky duel. Like, straight up, like, that was, well, it wasn't really, it came down to who hit the skill shot, and they hit the skill shot. Nothing you can do about that one. So, by the way, I want to point out for anybody watching, these off-angle flanks are actually a good idea. This is how you get a lot of kills, and you're also able to have an impact when you're stuck at chokes. So I don't mind this play by you. This is good. Okay, now you're gonna, okay, so I do want to point out, you're going, wow, you were taking the scenic route here. But it's like, it's actually gonna work out. This, oh, chat, this is like a perfect ult opportunity. Oh my. This is actually such a smart play. I agree that I went a little bit far back. I would have gone up a little bit sooner. But like, when you're stuck in the choke here, chat, how often when you play King's Row do you find yourself just stuck right here? Like, how often do you just sit here and then you keep smashing against the cart and then eventually you take the point, right? This is a very common spot to get stuck. So going for plays like this is how you break that. Whether you go this way, which obviously didn't go well because up here, or you go this way, you're basically creating space for your team. This is the off angles, a little bit of an aggressive flank, but this is kind of what those angles are. So in theory, this could end up being a huge play for the Sierra. Ana figured it out, by the way. One of them's aware you're there. Want to show something here? The higher your ultimate goes, the easier it is to dodge. I want everybody to see how this looks. So because you did a very aggressive up in the air, look at the spread of the ult. The lower the ultimate, the more like tighter the spread is, and the more likely you can get a kill. But obviously, you know, it can go either way, right? Like when you're in an open space like this, it's good for creating like that opportunity, like to do that. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah, I just want to show that. Man, that Ramatra had no clue you were there. That Ramatra had no clue. Well, why don't you play further back and you can get some value on that? Yep. Okay. Anyway. Yep, you're doing right here. Don't be afraid to use your grenade on the ground. So, chat, just to show people the effect, this is what the grenade does. Do you see? It is a shockwave. So you throw it at their feet. What I would have done grenade-wise is thrown it a little bit sooner, like this, at the ground, and it would have gotten everybody here and maybe booped them back a little bit or do something like that. I think it has a boop effect or something like that, but I would have done that, just so you know. And that's how the grenade works. A lot of people throw it like it's an M-ray grenade. No, you want to throw it at the floor to get the shockwave effect. Obviously, there's some, like, you know, some plays where maybe direct impact is good, but like, I don't know yet on that, but I just want to point that out. So I would have used that a little bit sooner to add extra pressure. Drone out. Good job droning out. Nice play. Good kill. There you go. That's using the grenade trick. Exactly, Ben. How's it going? Yeah, when it throws them straight up, when it throws them straight up, I think of that as a boop, because like technically you can be booped up in the air, so yeah. But it does have like an effect of like some like very small CC. I'm not sure on the direct impact of it, but I find I get way more value just kind of like throwing it at the floor, getting like 4 people hit with it with a shockwave. You can ult this. Yeah, this is a good time to like spread the ult out a little bit, and then now throw your grenade on the floor in front of you. Right, you can track and shot too. Also, I want to give a little bit of feedback on this rotation here for a bit, for not rotation, but I hopefully eventually people get out of the habit of just sticking the tank with your track and shot. The truth is, most of the time, your left click will just do the same damage anyway, and you're not going to have to track and shot a tank. But at the same time, if you're getting the attack speed boost one, like, I don't care either way because you're getting attack speed on the increase. So, something that I just, you know, look for more of the skill shots deeper on, like, the back line, because I think the tank, you're going to hit this, you're going to most likely be able to hit those shots because of the hitboxes, for the most part. Again, doesn't mean, like, don't, like, you know, you can still track and shot, but I think look elsewhere at times for, like, a better opportunity. Truthfully, though, the, oh, I like that movement. There you go. All right. I mean, you are flanking. Okay, this is your chance.
We need to move that table.
You take yourself out of the team fights for a while, but if it pays off, I'm okay with it. Again, you're missing your grenade. If you just throw it on the floor in front of you, that hits the Kiriko. It's a lot easier to hit than I think it's put out to be. I mean, you are distracting them. Like, you're playing a... You know, I gotta say, it's very interesting seeing a flanking Sierra, but maybe I think it can work. Not there, but I think it can work. Yep. Another tip, by the way, let's say that you stick a BAP or something with your target and you can't get the kill because of lamp. Because so basically it auto-aims and it won't kill the lamp. If you hit right-click again, it gets rid of the tracking target, just so you know. So like if you ever like have a tracking target and you're not going to get anything with it, if you hit right-click, it will get rid of it. So anyway, you can just start kind of going again on that. All right? I've had issues where like a BAP will lamp and I can't kill the lamp because of the auto-aim. So like you want to like, you know, hit your right-click again. I would ult this because of the time, so ult... Kind of the same way you normally have been. I think it's okay to do like more of the spread out there. Good job. You got 2 with that one. Nice play. Excellent out. And I think that's going to set you up for a good team fight here. Yes, I did hear the match started, but I have to get this done now, unfortunately. Because let me get through this half, then I'll swap over to the turkey game for the last part of it, okay? And then I'll swap over to that match for the third match, all right? Yes, the ult cost got increased, yes, but it didn't really change anything. They increased the ult cost to compensate for the change of the grenade. Does that make sense? Or another grenade of the damage increase. I gotta say, I don't mind some of your flanks, but I think you need to find the right time and place for those flanks. I think your major problem, at least from everything that I'm seeing, the timing of your flanks isn't good sometimes, but the idea of you flanking isn't bad sometimes. So I want you to think about if you go into their backline here in an overtime, you're going to get rolled and give them a free kill. But if you play here and you play safer, you put more pressure on them, and maybe this goes a different way, right? So flank when you have the opportunity to go for like those flank or off angles, but don't flank like when they blatantly see you, okay? So the best way to know when not to flank is if they can just see you blatantly going in front of them, don't do it. If you can get behind them in a secretive way that also doesn't hurt your teammate's front line, like the King's Row one where you went to second point, that was okay, right? Remember on third point, you just ran behind them in their back line? That was not a good play. So you want to like, it's all about the right timings. Don't force the flank. Wait for the right timings for the flank. All right? Also, Snoozy, thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, so far I don't mind your starting spot here. Good job using the grenade correctly here. So I'm very happy to see that. Use this to get away. Remember, you have 2 of those, too. So, like, utilize your movement on that. All right? Breaking the bubble as much as you can. So far, you're doing just fine on this part. That's one, by the way, where I remember earlier I mentioned, like, on the tracking targets, like, don't always go for the tank. That one's a different one. When you see a tank at half HP and there's no way of them getting healed, I'm okay with it at that point, right? So I don't want you to stray away from it. But I want you to not just like sit there and look at a Ramatra and keep targeting them with that, right? All right? There goes that. It's okay to go here. Like, I don't want you... this spot is good for positioning, but I also think you can help your team a little bit more. All right, so you're taking the high ground over here. I do like this. I would have preferred the other high ground earlier, but whatever works. Good usage of the grenade. I want you to be careful of doing this, okay? I want you to look at you, all right? I get what you're going for, but do not take an angle like that to get a kill. I want you to see this. Look at what they see right now. See this? See what they see? You're just standing here, staring that way. They can easily kill you, okay? You're going to get away with it right now. But yeah, being aggressive, I would have liked to see you take this initially when your teammates have the... Like, if your teammates have here, don't be afraid to go here. When your teammates lose the control, you go here. And then if your teammates lose contain of like this part, you go up here. See? That's what your rotation can be like, okay? But yeah, if you're standing there like that, that's a free pick. You get away with it, but you see why it's not a good idea, right? Good grenade. That was an amazing combo, by the way. I never even thought about that combo. Sigma ultimate with like an ultimate when you land. Honestly, even like it, like that combo was sick. Basically, you Sigma ult, throw your mines down. When they land, they can't do anything, right? Like they literally they can't. You have to make sure you time it correctly. But that was perfect. Good play. So like right here, I would be pushing over a little bit, like in a second. Not yet because you're doing the shots. But like right now, now you go over where your Kiriko's at. See? When you drop down like this, you're giving up the safety of your positioning, and you aren't droning correctly back up on high. See? Was the combo intentional? I don't know. It was fun though. I do like using your drone as an escape though. That is the correct decision. It was not intentional. Well, there you go. Yeah, you're honest about it. I respect it. Okay, I like this high ground too, by the way. Good decision. This is also a good spot. A good angle. They have to battle you for it. Bit of a hot take. And this is going to be something, unless you have the perk for the attack speed, what's going to happen if the right click fully hits up here? Out of curiosity, chat, if the Junkrat's right here. There's so much cover, so like, I don't know. I don't think, is there a difference between the direct damage of the right click? It might be like 30 damage or something. The point I'm making is, if they're really behind cover, I would just send your shots in there. Because they're just going to be able to hide and like not do anything. And like, yes, you buy the time of like them hiding, but I also think you can just get the kill for free. So think about that, right? If they can walk away, right? Let's continue on here. I am not against the idea of this, but I think like, okay, honestly, I don't think you should have taken that rotation because like, I get what you're going for, right? And I want you to be proactive, but I think in that situation, you're better off disengaging backwards up to the high ground than doing this. You're just staggering yourself now, honestly, just reset. What a nice shot by that Junkrat on you, though. Okay, here we go. Grenade, remember, in front of you on the ground. Don't mind the ult, because you're trying to slow it down. Know what they're doing. Great play. Again, using the ultimate as a way to push them back is very, very smart. So good job on that one. Gens, thanks for 12 months of the prize. I appreciate it. Thank you. This is silver rank. Aim solid for silver, by the way, but, you know. See how that went up the stairs and traveled up? That's how you use the grenade. And you really wanted to be on that pedal. Wow, look at that target tracker. Jump. I think it was on PC, if I'm correct. Remember, you can go up in the air again. One of the fun movement aspects is you have 2 charges to your drone. So, like, when you fall down there, don't be afraid to go back up in the air again and do the same exact play, right? Good job here by your team, though. Nice. Again, the angles are good by you for the most part. Like, you could flank here, but here's the thing. If you're going to flank here, you need to be here like 5 minutes ago. And what I mean by that is this is a good idea, but if they're already gone here, you're going to end up going all the way around there. And then basically, because you asked about flanks, so you need to be here almost ASAP if you want any value of this, right? Because eventually they're just going to lose that there, and you're going to come back and be late to the team fight again. So we'll see what your decision is. This is fine. Just wanted to make sure. Please stop standing still AFK in a window when they're that close. I know you're getting away with it, but you're going to get one shot sometimes doing that, okay? Here we go. Nope. Even if people get hit shots and you in that situation, I wanted to get you out of that habit now. Developing good habits now will lead to better results later, okay? Let's see how you do in the retake here. You have plenty of opportunity to win this game. I mean, you're in a good spot, right? So we will see. We will see how this plays out. Good job by your teammate. Ultimate wise here, go for a little bit of a lower ult on like the ground. I think that would be benefit right now. Again, I think you're doing this because you think you have to do this with the ultimate. Aim lower with your ultimate. The spread of the ultimate will be like a little bit tighter. So in these situations, you'll more likely get a kill. I don't mind going with the range sometimes, but you're spreading your ultimate out. Like, watch this. You see what you're doing? You're basically given more opportunity to survive. So just a little bit lower. It doesn't have to be like super low on the ground. You can do it like almost like have it be like about here. See? And I think you'll get a little bit of value. So just be careful of that, okay? It's not, again, it can work still. Like, you know, every team fight's different, but that one was going to be easy to dodge. All right, going to have to hold third point. Is it possible? We'll find out. Here it is. Yeah, I mean, you're going to the cart. Nothing you can do about that, right? Yep. This is silver, yes. I would like to see you try to establish a high ground, not where all your teammates are stacked, but we'll see. There goes the Rhine. Again, try to... You're using your right click on the tank a lot. You really don't have to there. Like, I just think it's going to be, you know, like how nice would it be to be able to go up here, still have that right click, get it on the Junkrat, and guarantee a kill, right? When you put it on a Rhine, they can shield up. You're going to do the same damage you would probably do anyway with your left click to begin with, like your main shot. So I want you to think about that when you go for your skill shots. Again, I don't want you to be afraid of using the skill shot on tanks, but I don't want it to be a gameplay loop of I only skill shot a tank. You know what I'm saying? In this situation, I probably wouldn't do it on the Rhine because the hitbox is so large. I'm not worried about that. So like maybe you go up in the high ground, you hear the Junkrat, or you go, oh, I have my right click. You hit the right click on the Junkrat, you get the kill. Or you're, oh, I see an emongg, I right click the emongg, you get a kill. That's where you're going to get those kills from. But a lot of the tanks are going to survive that. So here we go. Looking a bit rough here, though. Oh, nice try. Big slam and GG's. All right, just to follow up on some of the advice right here for you, I want you to go for those flanks and those off angles, but make sure it's the right time, and I kind of explained it. Understand how to utilize the grenade now, which I think you saw halfway through. Look to track targets on more of the squishies rather than just the tank, and use your drone a little bit more. Like you're kind of leaving your drone there once. Use more charges. And remember your ultimate, stop throwing it at the skybox. Give it more opportunity in those tight like hallways, a little bit more down. And yeah, so there you go. I hope that's helpful. Thank you for being one of the first people to submit a Sierra one. I know it could be a little bit daunting of like, oh, like, hey, by the way, this is a new hero. So a lot of people are going to see you play a new hero. So thank you for that. You did a good job. Good aim for silver. I think if you keep doing what you're doing, I think you'll climb. And you got this. You absolutely got this. If you like the video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't, leave a comment. All that helps. If you want to submit your own Spectating, my Discord's where to do that. And if you want to watch more of these, look on the bottom over here. There's some videos. Click them. It's a good one. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.